Yep. Thank you, Your Excellency. Your Excellency Raila ODINGA, Your Excellency.
Imports. What the government should be for being led. Good morning, everyone. After my boss has spoken, has given such an eloquent address, there is very little for me to say, and also with the remarks that have been made by our team. But I want to say that clearly the finance bill is an indication that the Kenya Kwanza government has waged an economic war against citizens, and especially the vulnerable. You would expect that during these hard times, there would be measures to cushion the vulnerable. You would expect that food items, critical items, you remember that Azimio has been on the forefront of asking for the lowering of cost of living, actually demanding for the lowering of cost of living. This bill is a contempt card on those demands, because its net effect will be to push the cost of living upwards, as has been very eloquently explained. Once you raise VAT on fuel, there's a ripple effect on virtually everything. When you tax exempt things that were zero rated, once again, the effect is pushing the prices up of essential items such as medicine, critical medicine. That, with the current status of NHIF, it means the average person will not have access to critical medicine. And in Kenya, we say families are just one sickness away from abject poverty. So when you move critical medicines to exempt, tax exempt, and push their prices up, it means this bill is going to directly cause deaths, suffering and death to many Kenyans. It also means that food will be less accessible. Already we have a crisis of people not being able to have meals on their table. With the joblessness, with the cost of living being up, Kenyans have been shown by the Kenya Kwanza regime that they are on their own. This is happening in a context where the expenditure, non-essential expenditure for the office of the president, for the office of the deputy president, for the prime cabinet secretary, luxury items, they have pushed the budget up for travel, the example being led by the office of the president. They have pushed the amount for purchase of non-essential items, fuel, gasolines. It is, cars are not an essential, especially if they're just discarding cars they found that have not lived their, that have not done their time. Just because you have come in, you buy new vehicles at a time our economy is in crisis. They talk of austerity measures on one hand. On the other hand, they are lavishly spending like there is no tomorrow. So just a look at what is happening. If you look at the finance bill as against the budget proposals, because the increase in expenditure is well captured in the budget proposals, it is quite clear that Kenyans are on their own, and that this is a cruel and caring regime which does not care at all if Kenyans die of hunger, if children fail to go to school, or if people die because they cannot access medical services. I would urge, especially our Azimio members of Parliament, as you debate, let us not be hoodwinked to concentrate only on the issue of the housing fund. This bill has so much poison in it, which needs to be unpackaged to Kenyans, item by item. And here there can be division of labor, because no single person will have enough time, whether in the media or in Parliament, to analyze all the sections of the bill, so that we unpackage this as easily as we can to Kenyans, so that the Mamamboga knows and the artisan that their targets of punitive taxes, I'm using the word punitive, when you start charging turnover tax to people whose income is less than 2,000 shillings a day, because they are aiming at people who are earning 1,300 for taxation. That's a person selling mandazi or chapatis on the roadside. These are very, very punitive measures, and this is something that should be resisted. And if the Kenya Kwanza government goes through with it like they have threatened, Kenyans must get ready to take action, remembering sovereignty is in their hands. And without much ado, I'll call upon my brother, His Excellency Dr. Alonzo Musyoka, even to offer greetings. Much has been said. You are not being asked for much, just greetings.
Asante. You've done it so well. I didn't want to